Hey y'all, Michelle Raza here with Finding Yourself SATX Life Coaching, helping you find your best self since 2017. Today we're going to continue talking about Dr. Gibson's self-care for adult children of emotionally immature parents. We're moving on to chapter 4 today, being proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. If you haven't had a chance, please check out our website. We're at www.findingyourselfsatx.com. There you can start your life coaching journey for 99 cents. Thank you. Chapter 4, be proud of yourself. Pride is the natural sensation of delight in growth. Nothing grows without delight. Green-thumbed gardeners know this, and so do parents who cherish their children. Showing delight in someone's growth gives the person fuel to keep trying. Good bosses do it, the best spouses do it, and we should do it too. Enthusiasm for our own progress is the most powerful motivator we have. Praise from others can be as big as a whoop of joy, or it can be as subtle as a softening of the eyes. But whatever form it takes, the person being praised feels proud he or she did it right. In childhood, praise guides the way, like a light along the path. There is no mystery to it. You just follow the smiles. Later on, you learn to give yourself that good feeling by being proud of yourself. Pride is the natural sensation of delight in growth. But all too often, healthy pride gets confused with narcissism. If you are proud of yourself, you might fear you will be disliked or taken down a notch. As a result, some people superstitiously deny pleasure in their accomplishments in order to ward off a comeuppance. Pride has even been labeled a sin, and acting conceited is a social no-no. Another practice that has given healthy pride a bad name is excessive praise for the smallest childhood success. From owning tokens in the classroom to the trophy glut at Little League. Many adults are turned off by this overpraise, sensing that the children are being done no favor. In fact, research has shown that many children overpraised for success end up becoming more cautious and less motivated than the kids who are praised only for their amount of effort, successful or not. However, if you as an adult are trying to make positive changes in your life, then you must notice and take time to feel good about even your smallest successes. To do so is just as important as figuring out what you wanted to change in the first place. You encourage yourself to grow, taking pleasure in your progress. The pleasure you feel tells the brain to keep strengthening these new tracks of changed behavior. Unfortunately, instead of noticing and celebrating your positive changes, you might tell yourself not to get a swelled head. Even worse, you may tell yourself that because you feel so good, something bad might happen, just to even things out. The brain then puts the brakes on that new outlook or behavior because your mind senses anxiety, not pleasure. Instead of dashing past your best moments just when things are changing for the better, you ought to be asking yourself how you did it. If you don't analyze and take pride in what you did right, you will not know how to get there again, nor will you have the enthusiasm to keep trying. Analyzing how you got to a better place makes it more than a happy accident. You become conscious of a skill that you can hone further. Deliberately pausing to feel delight encourages more growth. But many people find it hard to feel proud of themselves for very long. They squirm and resist, minimizing the fact that their changes had a huge impact for the better. Many times, people do not think it's possible to really change, and they ignore the evidence of it as soon as they do it. Embarrassed to praise themselves, they undo their delight and accomplishment, insisting they are the same old people, which is exactly the way to guarantee they will stay the same old people. If you want to keep having good feelings and a better life, notice what you did right and make a point to feel good about each accomplishment. You are not being prideful or vain. You are learning to feel proud of yourself for well-earned success. That warm glow in your chest and broadened sense of possibility are the natural, organic results of getting it right. If you make a point to pause and enjoy the moment, you can fan that spark into a sustaining fire of motivation. If you snuff it out too quickly, you extinguish not just the good feeling of the moment, but your energy for the future. Take every chance you can to feel good about feeling good. Learn to enjoy the sensation of pride. It is what successful people have always done to keep their motivation strong. You won't be an egoist, you will be an enthusiast, a self-enthusiast. Then you can pass it along to others. So, Dr. Gibson is writing to the internalizer audience. So, adult children of emotionally immature parents can be grouped into two separate groups. You have the internalizers, which are most likely you watching this video, and you have the externalizers, which are the people who they themselves become emotionally immature people. They scream, they yell, they get what they want, they make other people handle their messes and their problems. And then in the language of Melody Beatty, the world is broken up into dependence and codependence. So for Gibson, an internalizer is the person who becomes a codependent, the overly responsible person who takes care of everything, never complains, and on the inside is probably screaming and dying a little bit. Whereas the externalizer is the person who often becomes the dependent, the one who becomes the alcoholic or the drug abuser or a myriad of other things, gambling addictions, sex addictions, whatever it is, they externalize their behaviors or their unhappiness in this world. So for you, the internalizer, whoops, my background almost fell. For the internalizer, there's very little chance that you have an inflated ego or an inflated sense of self-worth. You probably don't give yourself enough credit in life. And so that's where she's telling you and pushing you to push yourself, to praise yourself, to take some time to really cherish your own accomplishments. And this all comes back to treating ourselves as we would want to treat a young child in our lives. So if you have a child in your life that you love and they come show you some crummy piece of art and you tell them, wow, that's so amazing. Look at those colors. Purple is my favorite color. And look at that sun with those lines coming out of it. That's amazing. Then what's the little kid going to do? They're going to keep drawing. And as they draw, their drawings are going to get better until one day they will really knock your socks off with a piece that is just amazing. And so you want to treat yourself with that loving encouragement, gentleness, right? You did something good, so celebrate. I mean, it doesn't mean, for example, if you have a weight goal, right? And so you reached an interim goal and then you go eat a whole cake by yourself or something. Like, it's not like that. But just taking the time to celebrate yourself, it's really important. And especially for an internalizer like you, a lot of the times you're afraid to speak up about the things that you've done right. And so it's not just for yourself. You may want to journal for yourself, celebrate for yourself, but you need to take that time to tell the people in your life about the things that you've done. And most likely they won't receive it in a way that makes you feel proud or heard or even good. It's just important for your own self-worth. You did those things. You did those things and you're proud of them. And so your EIP family, if you still have a relationship with them, they need to know the things in your life that you're proud of for yourself because it's important to you. And that's very, very hard. It's hard to have like a one-sided relationship with them. And Gibson calls it relatedness, not relationship. So you can't necessarily expect them to respond in the way that you'd like. They're not going to say, wow, that's so awesome. I know in my particular situation with one of my EIPs, because I have many of them, no matter what I did, no matter how good it was, including a full scholarship to undergrad and grad school, I was met with a very sarcastic, oh, how wonderful. I was never made to feel like anything I'd accomplished was enough. And admittedly, that made me push and do more to the point where I almost reached burnout because I was seeking that praise from people who were not in my social circle, and really who would have bled me dry, because business is business, right? They're not your friends, and they're not here to be your friends or your family. But if you're missing that from your family, it's very easy to try and seek it elsewhere, whether it be in relationships that are not good, where the person really doesn't care about you and they're in essence using you. Friendships, the same, where people use you and they enjoy what you give to them, but they don't give back to you. So going back to the main point, as an internalizer, it's important to document and be proud of yourself. It's also really important to share with the EIPs in your life what you're proud of, not expecting them to respond in a way that makes you feel happy about it. To me, it's a chore. It's a chore to reach out to my EIPs, and it would be much easier just not to have a relationship with them. But I do reach out because family is important to me. So I keep reaching out and I don't expect them to respond. And 9 times out of 10, I feel kind of down, right? Because they don't respond the way you would like for someone to respond to you. And I balance that with people who do respond. So someone that will respond and say, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you for your new job. You presented to this big whoop and you didn't make you didn't make an ass of yourself. You didn't face plant. I'm so proud of you." Or, you went into the office and you made it on time and you're proud of that. I'm proud of you, right? People who will celebrate with you. And just find those people, those BFFs, whoever they are. It really does. It's going to take some effort. And if you're used to being that person who's kind of the doormat, you're going to want to give more than you're going to receive. And you just need to stop and just say, I am worthy of a reciprocal relationship, and I will not give more than they're going to give me. In electronic communications, it's somewhat easier because you have a record of who contacted last, right? So you can see on the text messages or the phone logs, like, are you always the one calling them, or do they reciprocate? Because that's important, and it's something that you should keep in mind. So anyway, be proud of yourself. You're worth it. You don't necessarily have to do all the things I said all at once. You don't have to start telling your EIPs what you're proud of, but you need to celebrate yourself, whether that be with a small dessert, whether that be journaling about it, whether it be a bubble bath, however you do your self-care, but you need to take that time to celebrate your accomplishments and your successes, because you really are worth it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm sorry I'm a little stuffy. I'm getting over a cold. I really look forward to talking with you guys in a couple weeks. So take care and have a great night or a great day whenever you're watching this. All right, bye.